Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Laws of Life webcast network. Today, our program is The Laws of Business Breakthroughs, hosted by business guru Bimal Shah, CEO of Raj Parth Achievers, and also a business coach of Laws of Life, helping Laws of Life grow every day. And it's all about having meaningful, interactive, engaging dialogue. So feel free to drop a question in the chat and let us help you answer it, because that is what it's all about. You know, it's all about conversation and engagement. So let's bring Bimal onto the stage, as they say in the world of Clubhouse. Bimal, how are you doing this morning?
Great. Thank you for having me here. Apologize for this look, still recovering from the
No problem. Like I said, I admire you for continuing to do your webcast, even in some challenges the last couple of weeks with your eye. So what are you teaching us about today, Bimal?
So the 3-bucket cash flow strategy, and cash flow is so important in business. And that's the number one reason for failure. 80% of the businesses, they fail because they do not have proper cash flow, and they fold. So there are three first important principles or foundation that every business owner should know about cash and cash flow. The first is the business will eat as much cash you pour into it. So the old adage, you need to spend money to make money, doesn't work if you run out of cash. Right? So do not go by that you have to spend money to make money. It only works up to a certain point. And so when you need to put all your resources of, your savings, your investments, your cash, your whatever, your lines of credit, debt to grow your business, limit it to about a third of what you have. To start with, no more than a third of all your resources. Then does that make sense? Like, instead of putting all your money, limit it to a third to start with, the maximum 50%. So that's very important. The second is.
But wait, I have a follow-up question on that law. A third of the business accounts, or a third of your personal and business assets?
Personal and business cash assets, not your assets. Like, you don't want to mortgage your house. You don't want to sell your property. I mean, if you have built wealth, you want to store it because it's going to work for you in the future. But if you want to now build a new business out of the wealth that you have created, no more than, a third to start with, and a maximum of 50% of your liquid resources, which include cash in all the banks, investments, stocks, cash value of your policies or lines of credit or SBA loans and all of that. So, again, you don't want to have debt as an obligation. That should be your last priority. But if you need to make sure you have cash flow. The second most important law and principle is to make sure your revenues drive your expenses. So meaning that, first build some revenues in your business, even if you can get just 3 customers, 3 customers to pay you your ideal, and we had talked about this in an earlier episode, the ITV, ATV, and LTV, if you remember those acronyms. We talked about the initial transaction value, the annual transaction value, and they can build that from a 5-star customer list. So those are important. Like, make sure that you have your revenues driving your expenses and not your expenses driving your revenues, because, then what you will do is you'll run out of cash, you'll run out of money. And the third most important principle is to make sure that you have a proper ROI on your business. Don't just keep on investing and keep on pouring money. At least target a 5x ROI. Try a 5 times ROI. If I'm spending this money, how am I going to recover 5 times out of this money? And then, because many people throw money in many different places and hope to make money in the future. Hope is not a strategy. In business, hope can't be a strategy. Hope does help you in life, but in business, you have to be practical and be very thorough and analytical on how you get business. And if you remember, the first line in your P&L statement is your revenues. When you draw a P&L statement, when you even write out a profit and loss statement, the first important line is sales. And most people think about, I want to have a big office, I want to have lots of employees, I want to have this, I want to have that. But what about customers? How many customers do you dream of? How many checks do you dream of? So when I ask you, what's your ideal dream of your business? Oh, I want to have this office with this many employees and this much and this location and all that. That's all expenses, right? The first line is revenues. How many customers you want to pay you how much? That's the most fundamental, important question you need to ask yourself. Sorry for that. I'm going to put it on silent. So that's number one. And to do that, target at least 3 customers. Now I'm going to talk about the 3 buckets. These are very important buckets for your cash flow. Okay, this is how you divide your business bank accounts and make business cash flow decisions. So the first bank account is your operations account. You need to have a regular operations account. You need to know, this is how much it takes me to run my business. Every month I need 10,000, 20,000, 40,000, 100,000, 5,000, whatever it is. Pay my rent, pay my utilities, pay my employee, pay my staff. This is what I need every month at the beginning of the month to run my business. Then you have a growth account. So anything that you get on top of this number, you should transfer it to another account, which is called a growth account. So when you transfer that money into the growth account, now you have money to make decisions. Do I have money in my growth account? If I do, I can spend money on technology, on marketing, on people, on advancement, on software, at different places to grow your business. But if you don't have cash in that account, your answer is no. Sorry, I don't have money in my growth account. I can't make those decisions right now. When I do have those, we'll make those decisions. And this third is your reserve account. You need at least 3 months of your operations, money that you have in a reserve account. So you need to start building. And I have a full system laid out to build these 3 buckets. I have posted out a link. If they can go to business bit.ly cash flow. Yeah, that one. Bit.ly business cash flow. They can actually build those 3 buckets. And I show them how I build these 3 buckets for myself, and how you can build it and allocate it and automate it in your bank account. So you can build it and automate it. So it makes it so easy and seamless for you to manage your day-to-day cash flow affairs in your business. And so that's a 3 bucket, because cash flow is the number one reason that businesses fail. And those are some of the things I wanted to share today, because it's so valuable and so important. And would love to hear your thoughts, Blanca.
I'm loving the feedback. Oh, we have a question. So let's just get right to the question, and then I'll give my feedback. Joey Lewis, who I actually met through a webcast. Joey, thanks for watching this morning, and who's a huge Laws of Life networker. He says, do you have a special account for taxes so you don't take a big hit around tax time?
So here's what you do. The first thing you absolutely want to do, and this is many business owners make this mistake of not taking a salary from their own business. As an owner, you need to take a reasonable and even a nice salary. Take one salary for yourself so that, and you're required to anyway, because the IRS requires you to do that anyway. Now, if you do that, the number one thing is you are paying in advance certain amount of taxes. Okay. So for example, I'll give you a simple example. Let's say if you know that the business is going to make $100,000, okay, as a net profit, and you're going to pay $30,000 in taxes, and you don't want to take a hit during tax time of $30,000. Take a $30,000 to $40,000 or even a $50,000 salary, so you've at least paid that much, $15,000 in taxes over 4 quarters during the year as part of your payroll. Okay. Now that also has other advantages when you do that. And the second thing is you would be paying, your advance every quarter you pay taxes, 940V. So when you send your estimated tax voucher, you do that as well during your tax filing. So when you know that, okay, during my estimated year, this is what, so that's when you pay your advance taxes or apply your refund. But in general, if you like to, you can also make it as a part of your growth account, growth account, and put that money in that as well.
That's a great question. And Joey, because you asked a question, you will receive a copy of Bimal's book. So be sure to email Blanca at lawsoflife.shop, Joey, with your mailing address, and we will send you a copy of Bimal's book. And, I love this show. I love that it's on Mondays. I think we're so blessed to have this business motivation every Monday and learn these very important laws of business breakthroughs. And let me tell you, every week it just gets better and better. But this show you're welcome, Joey, only gets better with questions and engagement. That's what the Laws of Life is all about. So thank you for firing up our conversation, Joey. And everyone can also meet Bimal at the Laws of Life Summit every Tuesday, or you can connect with Bimal by taking a picture of the QR code or visiting Bimal's Linktree. What events do you have coming up, Bimal?
So I have a CEO Room Mastermind next Friday. If they want to join, they can scan the QR code and they'll be able to connect. And also have a biggest 90-day leap where business owners build a full 90-day leap in their business. And one fundamental thing about leap, I would say many business owners make the mistakes of jumping standing up, meaning they try to jump in their business without preparing. So for example, if you need to take a jump or a leap, you need to probably take 20 to 30 steps backwards to run up to a point, and then you know that you can jump far. And if you want to jump high, you need a stick, right? So you can jump and jump high. So there's simple things like that you need to be fit and healthy to make a jump, right? So similarly, your business needs to be fit and healthy to make a jump. And you need to identify where in your business you're unfit, where in your business you are unhealthy, so that you can become fit and healthy to make these leaps.
Exactly. Well, that 90-day leap, that's also on the Linktree?
Yes.
And
yeah.
people can
they
register
can
now.
Yeah, so they can go on to that, and they can, there is, my events, there's a link to my events, and within those events, there is a link to that 90-day leap.
That's incredible, Bimal. Well, everybody register for the 90-day leap and register for the mastermind next Friday. And I'm telling you, Bimal has hundreds of tools to help you take your brand to the next level. So be sure to follow Bimal on all his social media channels, attend his 90-day leap, start the mastermind, and let's get fired up. We're in a post-pandemic world. It's time to get going. All right, Bimal, as always, you inspire me, and I can't thank you enough, and I wish you a fantastic day.
Thank you. Make it a great day, Blanca. Thank you for having me here.
All right. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Everyone, have a great week.